up, man? Want to give it a shot? No, you're good? All right, man. Have a good day. No worries.
Nomás porque le hablamos, ya vas con él.
Looney. I know. Yeah, two very easy questions. Elementary level, literally. Pretty sure you could get at least one. That's a, yeah? All right. Let's go. Yeah. No, that's good. I'm actually William.
Oh, I'm Angel.
Nice to meet you. So, okay, so the first one is the perception test, and the second one is a measurement. So we'll start with the perception test. So one of these circles is slightly bigger than the other one, and I'm trying to see if people could tell the difference.
Yeah.
Which one's the bigger one? Red or blue?
They're the same size.
You don't think
They're the same size.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just your perception, like you
Yeah,
said, perception.
Yeah.
You give it away.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're the same size.
They're the same size?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good,
The
man.
squares are.
Yeah, it's just to kind of throw it off a little bit, but nah, you're right. They are actually the same size. You already got one. Look at that.
I don't one eye, bro.
Most people actually pick one. And the reason why I start with this one is that just believing someone opens the door to being deceived, right?
Yeah.
If you would have believed me, you would have probably picked one.
And not just that, but you threw it off, or you're like, okay, which one is bigger? You know?
Well, most people do pick one, believe it or not. But nah, you were actually on it. You actually seen, and they looked about the same. That's good.
Yeah.
So this next one's even easier. Since you got this one, you're gonna get the next. Everybody gets the next one. So you know what this is, right? A level, right?
A level, yeah.
Yeah. What do they use these for?
Leveling.
Leveling. What would be the definition of level?
So, I don't know the definition, but it's to level.
Could we say horizontal?
Yeah.
Because if you could have a straight line, but if it's at a slope, it's not level, right?
Yeah,
It has to be a
exactly.
horizontal straight line, right?
Yes.
So the reason why there's liquid in here, water always takes the shape of the container of your
Yes.
cup, your bath, and the surface always equalizes.
Yes.
That's why the bubble, always goes to the center when it's horizontal, right? Like the lake, the surface, right? So since we understand the physics of water and what level means, this next one's even easier, right? Which one of these two is correct? Which of these measurements is correct? A or B? Pretty easy.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
So since we understand what level means, right?
Yeah.
And how water behaves, like the lake, the surface
Yeah.
always equalizes.
Yeah.
Which one of these two represents reality, basically? Which one of these two measurements is correct?
Well,
If we were to,
both of them, because the world is round. Imagine if it wasn't, where would the water be? It would be off to the.
right.
You know what I'm
So for example, so you think that the surface of water, like if we had this lake, like for
Yeah.
example, do you think if it was 3 miles across, do you think it will be bending then, the surface of it?
No, I don't know how long it would take for it to bend, but
Right.
look at the ocean.
Right. So actually, you actually right on it, man.
they-
I'm actually doing this because I don't know if you heard of people questioning the globe, right? So that's why I'm out here because there's a lot of information online.
Yeah.
I've been in this for like 6 years, and it's actually been censored for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Since 3 years ago, since like 2018.
I'm having the same problem with my brother too. He's a flat earther, and
Okay.
And I'm talking to him.
No, but here's the
Yeah.
thing. Flat Earth was just a term that was propped up to be
Yeah.
mocked because the Earth is demonstrably and measurably level. So here's the thing. This experiment, if we were to build a level structure, like a bridge or a platform, right? Perfectly level over a lake that's 3 miles across, they're telling us that the Earth has a circumference of 24,901 miles because NASA claims to orbit the Earth, right?
Yeah.
So they need to know the radius of orbit, which means they need to know the radius of the Earth. So this is the numbers that NASA gives us. And if we were to actually measure this, because they're supposed to be curvature 8 inches per mile squared. So if we were actually go out and measure this curvature, there should be a 8-inch drop in the first mile, 32-inch drop in the second mile, and by the third mile, it should be a 6-foot drop. So if we start at 5 feet, the gap, the water should be deviating from the structure by 6 feet in 3 miles. So we should be able to measure that curvature.
Yeah.
And then the longer the structure is, the more curvature there be.
So we're not measuring, or we are measuring?
We are measuring. So if we were to actually build a level structure over a lake,
Yeah.
this will be the results. The water will be parallel, horizontal to that structure. But they're telling us that water level means curve. That's what they're telling us, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you knew, but sea level, the term sea level, right? So if you're like 50 feet above sea level and then you go like 100 miles, 200 miles away and you go 50 feet above sea level, you're on the same level. Meaning you're on the same line of the horizontal line. But they're trying to tell us that level means curve, and the way they do it is, a basketball, right?
Yeah.
If you go an inch off a basketball on this side, and you go an inch above a basketball on this side, and then you go in between another inch, and you connect those dots, they're trying to tell us that means level, equal distance from the surface to the center of a sphere. So, but we know that that's a curve,
Exactly.
But in reality, in construction, level means horizontal, and water is the number one tool, So basically, people think they see water curving, but it's just the limit of our perspective.
Perception.
So when a boat goes over the over the curve, right? It's going over our limit of view.
Exactly.
Because you could zoom it back into view.
Yeah.
You know, that proves that it's not going over a curve, it's just going out of sight, you know? So how long ago has you said your brother was a flat earther, right?
Yeah.
How long ago did he bring this up to you?
It was years ago, but I was like, you know what, like that's weird.
You never really looked into it, right? Well, I came
yeah.
across it 6 years ago, and I'm telling you, it's been censored since 2019. And the way they're censoring it is they're not removing these videos from the internet, like this information. The way they're doing it is they're demoting all this information. If you look up like globe lie or even flat earth, that's a trigger word. They'll automatically just put ridicule videos that you have to go through pages and pages to maybe even find some legitimate information like me talking about it. But that's how they're censoring. And then the videos that are like literally shown to you, the first ones, they're just mocking, ridiculing, and just dismissing it. So all these experts, all these scientists, they'll never take this, gaslighting. They'll never take this serious because, again, the physics of water will disprove all of their claims. That's why they have us just believing in theories. The theory of gravity, the theory of relativity, the theory of the Big Bang, the theory of evolution, right? All these theories are just there to kind of hold each other up so that we believe this. And you might ask yourself, well, why would they lie to us, right? It's not so much about the shape of the earth that they're lying to us about. They're lying to us basically to take our common sense. So, because if you believe water does something different than what we actually experience, you're not using common sense. You're just believing someone, like a religion. You know what I'm saying? So, what I think the heliocentric model, which is the globe model with the earth spinning and all that, it's basically a religion. So it's just another religion. Why? Because what do all religions have in common? They all give us a creation story and they all give us a God. So government gives us a creation story with theory of evolution and the theory of the Big Bang, just like every other religion, right? But in reality, nobody actually knows how this place got here. Nobody actually knows what this place is. Put it that way. So everybody claiming they know what it is, just another religion. You know, that's what it is. So the globe is the biggest religion. It's the number one religion. Everybody believes it. Even Christians, Muslims, Hindus, they're like in a double religion because they believe this one plus the religion they're in, you know? It's like a double, you know? It's pretty crazy, man. No, it's pretty crazy. So I personally, you know, I'm against religion because in my opinion, again, nobody actually knows what this place is. So anybody that's telling you is just trying to control you. So that's the reason why I'm against religion. But again, people have the right to believe whatever they want, follow whoever they want. You know what I'm just here showing people the facts, you know? So I don't know if I was to ask you, what's the number one proof that convinces you that the earth is a globe?
Well, I mean, to me, look at every other celestial body, the moon.
Oh, I'm glad you brought up the stars and the moon, right? Okay, so
stuff, you know?
Before we get into the luminaries, first of all, I would say that's a false argument. And the reason why that's a false argument, because looking at the stars is not actually measuring for curvature. So it's kind of like a distraction from actually measuring. So all that's a distraction, but it's a false argument. But I'll tell you what the stars, nobody actually knows what they are. But here, look, people could zoom in with zoom cameras or even telescopes. This is what they actually look like. You could bring them back into focus. And these are the planets. You could still bring them back into the same focus. They're basically at the same distance. But they're telling us that the planets are millions of miles away and the stars are trillions, way farther. But if we zoom in with the same zoom, 83 times zoom, we could both put them into focus.
So,
and look,
okay, so what's the gist?
So right here, this is what NASA shows us. They're cartoons. What they actually look like is this. These are the planets, but they actually literally are just stars. The only reason why they're called planets, because planet means to wander. So all these other stars are fixed, like the constellations. These have their unique paths. So that's where the word planet comes from, wandering. So they're independent from all the other ones. But they're still stars. They're just lights in the sky. Nobody knows what they are.
What's the gist?
So basically, the outer space is just a concept. Basically, everything about outer space, other planets, and distance to other stars, all that's just a story.
I even heard that. Well, I mean, this is a lady said that. It's water.
It looks like it's twinkling in water. So the Bible.
No, she said that once you leave the oxygen, it's water.
Who said that?
Some lady. She said that that's what it is. It's water.
So here's my opinion about going high. I think my opinion, because hundreds of people have sent amateur helium balloons, giant helium balloons, and all of them have a limit of 20 miles. So this is the highest, in my opinion, human beings have ever gone. Have you ever seen the Red Bull jump?
That was cool,
You guess how high that was?
I don't know.
Right under 20 miles. And guess what he used to get up there?
A balloon.
A helium balloon. In my opinion, motor vehicles, because of the change in pressure is so much, I don't think they work.
No, well, of course. I mean, oxygen
so basically, my point is, there's only a limit to how high we can go. So I don't know if you know rockets, they go on a curve. You know what I'm saying? When NASA supposedly shoots rockets, but in my opinion, that's just a show. You know, to show people that they're supposedly going. But what happens is when they go out of view, they cut to CGI.
Órale,
So then they start showing a cartoon after that. So
But okay, what's your gist? What's the
So,
endpoint? What's your endpoint?
well, basically, we're being lied to. So I'm just trying to inform people that we're literally being fucked by NASA. They're taking it as a tax scam. We're being lied to about our nature here, what Earth actually is, and what we're supposed to be doing here. So we're all just living a cult.
Okay, but what could we do?
Okay, so you're trying to say what could we do?
Yeah.
So, to be honest, if everybody was to find out, I honestly don't know what would happen. To be honest, but I would like to happen is people become aware of what Earth is, or basically that we don't know what it actually is.
Yeah.
And I think we should explore the how far, the limits of this place, that we call Earth.
Yeah.
Because the sky is just a distraction. Again, we only have a limit to how high we can go. And again, it's just the concept. Outer space doesn't exist like they tell us. I think, if anything, Earth is contained somehow. Some people think it's a dome, right? I don't go with that because it's biblical.
Yeah.
And but again, I can't deny that Earth air pressure. We have air pressure here.
Yeah.
The reason why we have pressure is the air is probably contained somehow.
Yeah.
So again, Earth could have limits, how big it is. So, but some people think it could be infinite.
Yeah.
So my thing is, it's let's find out if it does have limits or if not, and then we could all just, basically it's just so we're not controlled anymore. That's why I'm out here, to inform people that we're being fucked, and basically, hopefully some change happens. I don't know if you know, but rent's out of it's out of the charge, property tax. It's all, again, we're living in a cult. So if you believe this, then you'll believe everything else the government tells you. Pay your taxes. We own all the land and you have to buy it now. And you still have to pay us yearly taxes. Why do people accept all that? Because, again, they're not using common sense.
We're the only creatures on Earth that have to pay.
But they're creatures too, though. My thing is, let me just give you a quick scenario. If you own like a mansion, right? For example, a mini mansion, right? And you and you just bought it, and you hired a group of securities, right, to protect you, right, in your home. But then later you found out that mansion had an attic in a basement, has an attic in a basement. And then you wanted to check it out, right, just to see what you find. It's your property, right?
Yeah.
Would you be okay if those security guards didn't let you search your basement and your attic?
No.
No, right?
Yeah, because you paid them.
Did you know that the government has a lot of restricted areas here on Earth?
Oh, yeah.
And the government works for us, right?
Yeah.
So how is it that
that's
we're...
what we think. That's what we
No,
think.
that's how it should. That's how it is. We let them do the switcheroo.
Yeah.
We let them do the switcheroo. Why? Because again, we're not using common sense
Yeah.
when it comes to basics. So we'll believe everything else they tell us. We'll believe they're experts. So we're dumb. So we're just gonna believe them, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, we're all the same. We all have the five senses. So yeah, I'm just sharing this information.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, people could. I could give you some info to take home.
Yeah.
Maybe you could share it with your brother. Here, let me. Just give you that. My card's in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I'm going to sit down for a little bit, man.
No problem, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to me, man. Have a good one.